guys? Mike G with MDG Collections on hand. Today, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about what I'm talking to you guys right now about as we speak. You'll see this video tomorrow. I'm in conversation with you guys in the comments right now about these 392's, and when you come to the point to where you need new rotors, they cannot be resurfaced. On most cars, your brakes over time literally warp your rotors. Most rotors can be resurfaced, and you can keep those same rotors until they get to the point where they've been just resurfaced all the way down to a point where they're no good. Then you have to replace them. From what I'm hearing, these two-piece rotors on these 392's cannot be resurfaced. So you have to buy a whole new rotor. Now, I'm talking to my guys right now in the comment section on the video from yesterday, and for one rotor on a Daytona 392, or if you have a Scat Pack with the Dynamics package or an SRT or a Hellcat, one rotor from Mopar, the actual Mopar part, alright, the genuine part, is $1,100 bucks. Alright, that's for one. Now times two, that's going to be $2,200 just for the rotors alone. Now, when you talk about your actual front brake pad kit, that is $410. And then after that, if you look at buying the rear rotors, which you really don't probably need early on, but if you did want to buy the rear rotors, that would be $165.41. And then if you wanted to buy the actual rear pads, all right, the kit for the rear pads, that is actually $397.75. So I'll put all this up on the screen as I'm talking. I have it right here. I already have a wholesale spot where I get my parts from. One of the guys that I know, basically through my guys at J&B, and they get the parts for a lot cheaper, but not everybody knows somebody how I know somebody. You guys may know your own guy, but if you want to go straight through parts of Mopar, you're going to be paying a grand total of, alright, so we have the $2,200 for both rotors. So $2,200 for both rotors, that's $1,100 per rotor. So for your two-piece rotors on your driver's side, that's $1,100, and for your two-piece rotor on your passenger side, that's $1,100, totaling $2,200. So now when you add the $2,200, and let's just say if you get the Brembo genuine Mopar part that comes on the car, it's a brake pad kit, that is $410. So now plus $410, now you're at $2,610. And then let's just say if you wanted to get the rear rotors, they are $165 per rotor, $165.41. So let's just do the 41 cents. So plus $165.41 plus $165.41 again. That's for the second rotor in the rear. Now you're at $2,940.82 just for the parts, and then you still have to add, let's just say if you want to add the last piece of this puzzle, which is the rear brake pad kits, genuine Mopar. You don't have to get genuine Mopar. You can get these other third-party brakes or whatever company brakes you want. $397.75. So now let's add that on to the grand total. So it would be $397.75 plus $397.75 equals, you are at a grand total of $3,338.57, and that is just for two-piece rotors on both sides in the front, your rear rotors, brake pad kit for the front, alright, a 6-piston brake pad kit on the front, and you have your rear brake pad kit. That is totaling you $3,338.57 just for parts. You haven't even paid for labor. I already pretty much added this up with the people that I know, and I'm getting this for half the price pretty much. It is still expensive. Even if you know someone, it is still expensive. So at the end of the day, just know the maintenance on these cars is not cheap. And you cannot, from what I'm hearing, if you guys can find out from your own mechanics, I already talked to my people and they say it seems about right. You cannot resurface these rotors. Alright, the two-piece rotors that come on these cars, you cannot resurface them. And this is some information that you guys need to know. You have to buy brand new rotors. Once your brake pads get low, when you get 30% and low and you start hearing that squeaking, it is time to get new brake pads. If you want to go to another brand of brake pad, you can do that. I've heard of a few different brake pads that are out there that do not have as much brake dust, but you will pay for it no matter what. I'm telling you guys right now, do research, see if you find out otherwise, but I'm hearing that you do not have the capability or the option to resurface these two-piece rotors. They have to be all replaced. Alright, so on both of them, on both sides, they have to be replaced. Alright guys, so just a little bit more light on my face in this next scene. Like how I was explaining to you guys, you can get another brake pad. A lot of people know about these Power Stop brake pads. I heard they're really good. I may invest and I may jump on them. They are cheaper, and they basically produce less brake dust. So I would definitely look into getting something like that if you want to save money. But it is expensive no matter what route you go. Even if you have a guy, you can go through a behind the scenes third party or wholesaler and get these parts for cheaper. But OEM is what I like to put on my cars, and I'm fortunate enough to be able to get OEM for pretty much half the price of what the average person was paying. I'm paying about, to be honest with you guys, I'm paying about $1,600 and change for everything, which is crazy cheap. All right, it's not cheap, but compared to what the $3,000 and change that I just showed you guys, I'm paying about $1,600 and change. So, and this is just from people that I've been with for a decade, that have gotten my business for years. So they do the right thing by me. But if you don't have somebody that you can get pretty much this whole package for about half the price, you're gonna pay over $3 grand. So that's just for the parts. If I didn't know anyone, what I would do is what I always used to do. I used to just buy my parts from service. If I wanted OEM parts, as I'm real picky when it comes to that, I would buy OEM parts, and I would just go to my own mechanic and let him put them on and not get charged the labor rate that the dealership is going to charge you. They will cream you, all right? You're going to get raped going to a dealership. I would not recommend that, to do service at a dealership, unless you just have to, unless you just don't know anybody. But get the parts if you can. I mean, they're going to be expensive. Get the parts from the parts department, and just don't go to service to let them put them on. Go to your own guy. But that's pretty much the video, guys. If you guys hear it before me or hear otherwise, please let me know. But from what I'm hearing, I'll do further research. From what I'm hearing, these two-piece rotors cannot be resurfaced, and they have to be replaced. And they cost a lot. They're not cheap. And that's pretty much, this is something I want to get out there. I want to let people know, because especially newer people that are just buying these cars, they have no clue. A year down the line, a year and a half down the line, or maybe 2 years, depending on how hard you are on this car, you're going to come to the point where it's time to buy new rotors, and it's time to buy new brake pads just for the front, and it's going to cost you. So it may cost you a little, it may cost you a lot, but it'll cost you. Sorry, I always wanted to do that on film. So basically, that's going to be it, guys, for this video. Just, you know, guys, enjoy these cars, but just know that at the end of the day, they are not cheap, and, you know, to have fun, you got to spend that dough. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. My guy, I think he's in DC, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe Philadelphia. I think he's in Philly. I can't remember. 32 Goyo. So 32 GOYO. He was talking to me in the comments just now, and he was a little shocked on how much these rotors. I think he had his Daytona a little bit before me. His Daytona 392. So he had his a little bit before mine, and when I got mine, him and I, you know, we had been talking for a while. Let me know if you guys find anything else about this, but from what I'm hearing right now, that is what the case is, and that's what it's going to cost. So just a little debating, a little video about what you're going to be spending. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be a wrap.